And thank you very much for staying with us. You're still watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And now to our interview with the guest of the day. I am joined by a lawyer and chieftain of the All Progressives Congress APC, Jason Tega Onokpasa, for discussion on the damning report on the 2023 general elections by the European Union. Thank you very much for joining us, Barrister.
Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Lajimoke.
All right, so it's 4 months after the 2023 general election, but debates over the outcome rage on. So my first question is, why this?
Why there are debates over the outcome?
Yes.
It is because of the character of Nigerian politicians. They lose an election, they don't agree that they lost, as if that is not inevitable in elections. For God's sake, it's an election. Somebody must win, somebody must lose. So if there is anything to say about that, it is because of the bad character of Nigerian politicians. Thank you.
All right, so you're practically saying we should put the blame on politicians. So what about election observers?
Yeah, what about election observers in what sense, please?
Well, I asked, who do we blame for this? Politicians or election observers?
I don't think there is any blame. If there is controversy over an election, for instance, what is the meaning of controversy over an election? It's disputation. That is, somebody has lost an election, he says he didn't lose. Well, to be fair, it is even possible for someone to have been rigged out of an election. Do you understand me? And then he's complaining. No problem. You go to the court to ventilate that. Now, if it's a question of the report on the election, well, I would say that in the first place, I disagree with your premise. So, for instance, you are quoting this European Union report, and if I got you clearly, you said it's a damning report on the election. I beg to disagree. I don't think it's a damning report on the election.
So what do you think it is?
The European Union report?
Yes.
It is just a report about an election conducted in Nigeria. Now, if you decide to hold an election, I remember my days at the University of Lagos. And as far as I knew, and I was very, very conversant with the University of Lagos, with politics in the University of Lagos. The best elections on that campus throughout my stay there was always at the Faculty of Law. The elections conducted by the Law Society students. No lecturer ever helped us to conduct election. Not Professor Bilade, not Professor Sibajo, former vice president. None of them helped us to conduct our elections. We conducted our elections ourselves as students. You understand me? And then they were the best elections in the entire university. Now, you do not expect a bunch of law students to conduct the same kind of election that maybe a bunch of Agberos at Okirigwe Motor Park in Sapele or Ojota Motor Park in Lagos will conduct. So, if you are compiling a report on an election held in, let's say, Vatican City, with the College of Cardinals as the electorate, then the report should be manifestly different than if you are writing a report about an election held in Miami, Florida. It will be different. It will also be different from an election held in Lagos, Nigeria. It will be different from an election held in Johannesburg, South Africa. So, for me, I've read that report. I don't see anywhere anything is damning there. The report just complains about, maybe materials didn't arrive on time in certain places, so and so people didn't have this facility at this time. The report just complains about, it just highlights what is to be expected in an election held in a developing country, as far as I'm concerned. So this whole notion of it's a damning report, frankly, I don't understand where it's coming from. Now, the other day, I think at the tribunal, Peter Obi's lawyers, apparently Atiku's lawyers too, decided to apply for this report to be entered as an exhibit by the Election Petitions Court. I don't know what they have in mind, because the report from top to bottom, the report does not accuse INEC of rigging the election. Let's get this first clear, please. The report does not accuse INEC of rigging the election. One, the report does not accuse the APC of rigging the election. Two, the report does not accuse Bola Tinubu of rigging the election. Three, so where you get this damning report, where the media has gotten this idea of damning report, where it's flying all around me, I don't know. If you can point one specific aspect of the report that is a damning indictment on how the president emerged, then we can tackle that, because I've read it from top to bottom. In fact, for me, what would have been the most damning part of the report was something totally bizarre, which the compilers of the report put there. They claim that INEC, the computation, how they arrived at who is president, who are senators, who are members of the House of Reps, that is basically everybody that has been elected. Let's not make any, that is, they are indicting everybody throughout the election, both president, senators, House of Reps members, governors, House of Assembly members. The INEC did not show how it computed it. I don't understand where that one is coming from. Because what INEC did that day, and I'm not holding brief for INEC, I even have my own axe to grind with INEC. So, but what INEC did that day was to painstakingly show, okay, this party got these votes. These are the total number of accredited voters. These are the total numbers of votes cast. These were the void votes. Then plus and minus, it was as transparent as ABC. That was the whole idea of collation. So where they got that one from, I don't know where that one entered the report. But if it is that there is a sweeping conclusion that it is a damning report, on what, in what sense, for God's sake?
All right, Barrister. So one part of this report described the election as lacking credibility, and the chief observer also said the election exposed as enduring systemic weaknesses that need to be corrected. What's your view on this?
There is no way that the report described the election as lacking credibility. No, not at all. If you can quote that part for me. What the report is doing, what is basically saying is that there is room for improvement. Okay. I even think that to some extent, there is an overreaction to the report. Because if I were the part that would even have been damning is complete balderdash, because it is a contradiction of what happened at the collation centers in the presidential, at the collation centers in the senatorial, at the collation centers in the federal constituencies, at the collation centers in the states, at the collation centers in the House of Assembly constituencies. That was why this process took, sometimes it took up to, often it would take 24 hours, sometimes 36 hours, sometimes 48 hours. It's plus and minus. So where that one came from, I really don't understand, my sister.
All right, Barrister. So the presidency has termed the report as an attempt to cast aspersions on the outcome. So as far as I'm concerned, you are on the same page with the presidency.
Well, yes. So the extent to which the report tries to pretend that an election that is held in a developing economy should seem like an election that is held in, let's say, Vatican City. I mean, if the electorate is a college of cardinals, the election will go one way. If the contestants, and then the contestants will be cardinals. Now, if the election is being held in a jurisdiction like Nigeria, who are the dramatic personnel? There is President Tinubu. There is former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. There is Mr. Trader, Peter Obi. So it depends on who the people that are running for election. Now, when they elected Pope Francis the other time, you didn't see the other candidates that lost out going dragging him to court, unlike we presently have here. So, to the extent to which they expected everything to move smoothly in a developing economy, because I've read this report, the sort of things they complain about are what are to be expected in the developing, any developing country. They are just, okay, you are, INEC has glitches. It was not able to upload the results as expected, even though INEC itself had foreseen that and said before the election that they will not be able to upload the results. I hope you remember that, Jumoke.
Yes, I do.
Beautiful. The INEC had said that before the election. So I don't know where the opinion is coming from. That if INEC has already announced that, look, this real-time upload of the results will give us problems. Then you now accuse them of doing what? Of breaching exactly what they said they would do. That I can't do this. I've already told you I've front-loaded. You understand? So where is that one? Where that constitutes a damning verdict on the election? Me, I don't know. And I beg to disagree. I respectfully beg to disagree with you. That is a damning report. It's not a damning report in any way. It just complains about what is to be expected in a developing country. And for me, where the unfairness really comes in is the ridiculous expectation. You know, that what should, for instance, imagine how difficult it is to transfer money. Do you understand me? You can transfer money now, the person will get it until 48 hours from now. You can transfer it now, the person will get it immediately. The person will even tell you he has seen his alert. You that sent money to him has not seen your alert. That might not happen in Switzerland. I've never experienced it outside of Nigeria anyway.
But Barrister, if INEC says it is up to the task, why would you call this a ridiculous expectation?
Yes, because INEC is not God. Okay? Now, in law, we have a maxim. We say, lex non cogit ad impossibilia. You understand me? The law does not compel the impossible. Even where a duty. In this case, there is no duty on INEC to transmit results. I don't know what Peter Obi's lawyers are up to. With respect to Liviusoku SAN, I don't know what kind of case they are arguing there.
All right, Barrister. So just to corroborate your point, INEC says it will be unfair to term the elections as unfair just because of glitch in transmission of results, and that's INEC's position. But the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal has admitted the EU report as exhibits. What effect do you think this will have on APC's case?
It's absolutely of no. Listen, when this report, this meaningless report, what is the import of the report, for God's sake? It is the EU, it's an observer. What did it even say? Did the EU say, this is the really funny thing. Did the EU say that the European Union, did it say that INEC rigged the election? I'm asking you now, Jumoke, with respect. You know, I rate you so highly. I have nothing but the greatest regard for you. Did you see one single line in that report that says that the European Union said that INEC rigged the election for Bola Tinubu? No. Is there a single line in the report that says that the APC, the All Progressive Congress, rigged the election to retain power? No. Is there a single line in the report that says that Bola Tinubu rigged himself into the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? No. So what is the probative value of this report? That it was entered as an exhibit, by the way, with objection from President Tinubu's legal team, with objection from INEC's legal team, with objection from the APC's legal team. That it was entered that was entered as an exhibit is conditional. All these things will be resolved when the tribunal is giving judgment. So as of now, it's neither here nor there, please.
All right. So I mean, so far we've accepted that there was indeed some glitch in transmission of results, and there is room for improvement. So what do you think can be done to sanitize the country's electoral process?
I think the first thing that should be done is for politicians to become normal, for God's sake. That is the first thing. Because let me tell you the truth. What does the European Union even mean with this their report? Why did they go to America during this the last election cycle between Joe Biden and what's his name? Donald Trump? They would have gotten a more damning report there. No, they come to Africa to write which report. Listen, even if you have funny characters in a place like Scandinavia, in Norway, Sweden, in Finland, in Denmark, if you have funny people contesting the election, you will still have controversy there. Okay? That is so in America, the most famous democracy in the whole world, the one we patterned our democracy after. Did they not have controversy? Till today, almost half of Americans don't believe that Joe Biden won the election. And he won.
So, Barrister, what do you think can be done to sanitize our country's electoral process?
The first thing is for the politicians to become normal. When you lose an election, shut up your mouth. Go to your house, put your head on your wife's, tell her you are sorry for losing the election and not being able to make her a first lady, that you will try your best 4 years from now. That's what normal people do. They don't start pretending that somebody rigged them out of an election when they were roundly defeated. Okay? So that's what I would love my brother Peter Obi to do. Go home, lay his head on his wife, say, honey, I'm sorry I couldn't make you a first lady this time around. I will try my best 4 years from now. Maybe I can defeat President Tinubu. Not that you start deceiving people, that you want to reclaim a mandate that you are actually trying to steal because you did not win an election. Okay? So that is the first thing. It is the character of the politicians that must change. Okay? Now, of course, there are room for improvement. But a lot of these things are not even in the hands of INEC. What can INEC do about connectivity, for instance? What can INEC do about people trying to hack his website, his server? What can INEC do about electricity? What can INEC do about agberos, about transporters, National Union of Railroad Transport Workers? Some of them stabbed INEC in the back on the eve of election. That very morning, they said they are not transporting electoral materials. What can INEC do about that? What can INEC do about policemen being indolent at the polling booth or allowing themselves to be compromised? You know, what can INEC do about people that this thing happened most brazenly in the Southeast? About people, because all our party members in the Southeast who came to vote for Bola Tinubu, they were beaten up, they were mobbed. There was nowhere this election was more massively rigged than in the Southeast, in Peter Obi's heartland, where he kept bringing out crazy percentages, 97%, 96%, 92% of phantom votes. There were even underage voters in the Southeast, my sister. So It is so many, if you really read this report, that you claim is a damning report, the report indicts Nigerian politicians. It explains about the laws. The laws, for instance, it doesn't even remotely say that INEC rigged election. I need us to get this very clear, please. The report, this so-called damning report, does not even remotely say that INEC rigged the election. One, he does not say the APC rigged the election. Two,
all right,
he
Barrister
does not.
Onokpasa, thank you very much. I've been speaking with a lawyer. Thank you very much. I've been speaking with the lawyer and chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Barrister Jesutega Onokpasa, tonight to focus on the report of the 2023 general election by the European Union. Thank you very much, Barrister. It's a pleasure having you on the program tonight. Thank you.
May God bless you.
Thank you.